Hello, everybody. I think it's gonna be one of my traditions for my podcast because I I just find it very relaxing, to be honest. And why not? Yeah. So you will see me in a mask on Mondays for my podcast. I think it's a good tradition. It's good for my skin, and at the same time, just talky. Yeah. I think it's good. So today's topic, I'm very cozy. I am in my pajama. I am feeling quite rested, I think, after the weekend. And I think I'm gonna talk today about how different is my life started to be after moving to England. And for the context, I am a Russian citizen and I always lived in Russia the whole my life before ever moving to the UK. I lived in Georgia for 3 months, and that was my experience really. I've never left my country longer than for a month, and 3 months that I left in Georgia was basically kind of a try on if I can be in a different country, but it's still quite close to Russia. So let's start with probably just, let's say, I've never thought that I will move into a different country. And the first thing that probably shocked me when I actually moved to the country, how many people actually is friendly to you. At least I've met very friendly people, which I'm very grateful for. I think it's definitely on the plus side of it, but for me, for my mentality, I do not understand it like deeply. But it's nice when the people just smile at you when they see you, but you don't know them. For me, it's the biggest odd thing of it. You don't know people that you're saying hello to, good morning, how are you? It's a very small talk in here, and in my home country, it's not a common thing at all. Like we would say like okay, hello, formal word of hello to somebody that will like see like our neighbors or, but usually we don't really ask how are you unless you know them pretty well, and we don't really smile to the people we don't know. And yeah, and I think that's shocked me enough that I thought I'm not I'm not understanding this culture. It scared me even at all at first because I thought, for example, I met one man that at my walk at the park, he would just like start to talk about his life. He'll be like we knew each other. He'll be like asking me how I am, um and I saw him just like once or twice in that park walking, and he was brave enough to come to me and talk to me. And then I just said to myself, just relax and try to understand this culture, give it a go. If you're not comfortable with that, just walk out of the conversation, or you don't have to stay and talk with them like for hours. So yeah, and it's nice. It's definitely nice because sometimes you like I go in the park and I walk in there and some people just smiling at you while you're just passing through like nearby them, and they will be like, "Hello, how are you? Have a good day." It's just nice push for the day, really. But again, it was very confusing at me for at first. Right now, I think I would like to think that I got pretty used to that, and I am finding it very odd. on people not saying anything like hello, even, you know? So I am right now at that time that I am thinking that the people who is not saying anything or not smiling to you, like, huh? Why? I hope you have a good day, man or woman. It doesn't matter. It's like, oh, just smile to me, just say hello, just say have a good day. I think you're getting used to such a thing pretty quick. And I remember when I've been in England a few times before I moved in here, and I remember when all the time after my next trip of I've been in England and I come back to my hometown and my home country, I I've noticed that the people, like, I started to be more friendly with other people, even although I do not know them. I'll be like saying hello, have a good day, thank you very much. I've always been like this. I always said hello formally. I always said thank you so much, and I always been polite. But I think it's a bit shifted into like more freely to do that. I do like I found like lots of Russian people just like was not expecting me to say have a good day. And for some of them, I'm sure that it's cheering them up. That's what it is. It's cheering you up. It's boosting your boost, boosting your mood, and it's definitely a nice thing. Yes, I like it. Also, I've noticed a bit more freedomness in the people, what they do, how they look like. In in my thought, and in my home country, it's a bit different. You have like rules and what's expected from you, if you're a woman or if you're a man. But in the UK, I feel like it's it has two sides of the coin. Always is. Because, for example, you can look like you want, you can behave like you want, as long as it doesn't touch other people and doesn't harm them. And it's nice because I started to feel a tiny bit better and a bit more freedom because of that. I realized that actually people, okay, let's say, well, people don't really think about you as much as you think that they think about you, first of all. But I think it started to be easier for me to just chill out, deeply inner my thought, just chill out about it. Like, come on, you, you look like you wanna look, and you're wearing this not just because of, I don't know, like, I think in my home country I got used to that you might be judged because of like how you look, what you're wearing, or how you're behaving. And then here it's a bit more freedomness in it, but it's also a opposite side of it because I think it's in a long term of the country for especially for some teenagers. Sometimes it can be quite confusing for the kids, teenagers, and young people because I think they start to lose themselves as it is because they act like everybody. They feel so much freedom. They feel so much like you can. So I think they don't realize where they should stop. You know what I mean? If you if you know what I mean, tell me. Let me know in the comments. I think it's nice, although that you do have this freedomness. You look like you look, you behave like you want, you have so much freedom in what you say, and people usually will be fine. Like, for example, like, even the simplest example, what I'll tell you right now. In my home country, people will be dressed up to go to the shop, and yeah, maybe they're like not dressed up as like super dress and glamorous and everything, which is obvious. Depends on the shop, although. And but in here, people are more chill about it. They're more easy about it. And like recently, I saw the other day, I've been at the shop, and of course, like, well, I'm wearing clothes, a proper clothes. And I saw the girl, like, well, I would say just a woman. I wouldn't say a girl, because it was a young woman, right? And I saw it's not on her. I saw like a few times when the kids or the parents or like any human being was wearing a pajama in here. For me, it was quite shocking at first. And like recently, I saw the woman in her like home slippers and bathrobe. It's very fluffy bathrobe, so like you don't really see anything inappropriate, really inappropriate. It was fine. But my thought at first, I was like, huh, why does she wear that in here? It's odd. But then the next thought of mine was, okay, how do I care about it? It's her life. She decided to look like that. She decided not to dress. She decided to, you don't know what she's going through. She decided to wear just pajama outside in the shop. Maybe she just quickly got in there and go out. Maybe she depressed. I don't know. You never know what other people going through, right? But I thought, okay, she's wearing that, so how do I care about it? And the next thought about it, I was like, hmm, maybe I wish to have that much freedomness in myself, that I will be at that stage that I'm chill about how do I look, and people accept me as it is, and I am accepting myself first and foremost as it is, and I'm not complex, like not trying to complex anything what like I look like just because of the thought, huh, is it appropriate for the place? Don't get me wrong, it is. Um, Social rules are very important in our life, and dressing appropriately for event, for occasion, is an important skill. And of course, it's up to everybody. And again, as I'm already said, you never know what other people going through. Don't judge, and you will be not judged. I like this thought. And I just like it. I just like it how it's how I thought of this, how much of freedom she has. She just like freely. She's so easy with that. She just did it. I don't know. It's another thing that I noticed in here. Like people will be less in rules, less in the like boundaries of what other people will think. At least I think so. Of course, there will be other people who like thinks what other people will think about me. Of course, for sure, 100%. It's like everywhere, and people are quite the same everywhere anyway. But I think I would like to, I would like to think that it is like this, that I'm right about it, where I see that like people are actually feeling a bit more confident and self-confident about themselves, and in this way it helps the culture to bring lots of new stuff, which is not necessarily bad and not necessarily good, I think, because sometimes bringing something new that is not understandable for, again, young people can be confusing and misleading. But it brings me to the next thought, because I've been to England a few times before I moved in here. I thought always that it's much more like proper English culture and English people living here, but I think I didn't realize how big is this country for immigration and how many people actually moving to England. Um, and right now, even this thing going on that people actually, like British people, actually a bit against of how many people coming into the country. I think I've heard a few people who just said about I do not want other people from other countries coming to this country just because just because they are not like they're basically doing more harm rather than a help in the country. What I mean is, and what they mean is, it's when the people come and they live like on just benefits and benefits of the country, they do not bring anything good, they do not work, they basically only. I've seen lots of people who, yeah, your own culture is important, don't get me wrong. And it's always will be with you, and you can cherish it and you can show it, right? But I saw lots of people who will come in here and it feels like they moved from their country, moved in here, and then bringing their own country to here. You know what I mean? They're like not trying to fit in here at all. They're bringing their rules, they're bringing their like style of life. And England, I think it's culture as it is, a bit suffering from it, which is a bit sad because I do like true old style English traditional culture. I think it's quite like very close to my thoughts, very close to my culture and my um like life goals and stuff like this, to my meanings of life. And but yeah, it's definitely a thing in here, and I didn't realize how big this problem is. Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. And there is going on like some programs and a few politicians talk about it and actually trying to there is like a program, I think, if I'm not wrong, something like called restore English or restore English countryside, something like this. So they're trying to help actual native people in here as like to produce farming and stuff. I mean, globally thinking, it's changing everywhere. Like our culture as the human being and everything changing everywhere, no matter where you are, through the time because of the influence of other world, like just us inner and changing and time going, and we're growing and we're going forward, which is understandable, but sometimes some of it can be a bit more frustrating and not as good beneficial to us. You know what I mean? Um, and I think we really have to question sometimes: do we actually need that much newness? I like that much different from what we used to have, because we I think we have to understand the consequences of changing it, and how it actually affects us in the future and our like kids, our future generations. I think it's a bit odd, maybe a bit odd sounds from like my mouth, but that like I'm young woman and it's just what I think, and it's my podcast, and I'm sharing what I think. But yeah, I think it's a big thing, and I didn't realize as like how big as the problem was in here, and like how actually sometimes people might basically like press down the native English culture just because they bring their own um culture, traditions, and like the super much pushing on it, and actually not trying to fit in and not trying to explore English culture at all and accept it at all. Don't get me wrong, again, as I already said, you can have and you always will. You always who you are, who you've been born, you always can have this culture. It's okay if you don't want to have it, it's okay if you want to have it. I'm just saying that I think you still have to have some kind of respect. That's what I mean. Like a good respect for country where you are and grateful for being there, you know? And for being grateful to be there, I think it's a like you have to try to try to fit in this culture, try to feel it, try to taste this culture. And it's always interesting. It's like a great experience, adventure, call it anything, because it's always nice because you, I don't know, it's different. Usually, most of it is different still, even if the cultures are quite like close to each other, but there will be still different, and those differences can open you a different perspective in your life and different thoughts, which is again is just satisfying to find this. Like, it's my own opinion about it. And I think in general in England, I didn't realize how much people really into the gardening in here. And I think it's such a great country to start your own gardening because you have gardening centers everywhere across the country. Lots of them. They're so big. And again, I've never did anything like for gardening myself in my home country, but I saw, like, for example, only one or two big shops in my hometown, and just because I've never done it, I've never seeked for that, and then never searched for that. But in here, I think it's a next level. It's like people, no matter what age, they're doing gardening, they have lots of, like, it's so, I don't know, like, it warms my heart. I saw the other day the man doing gardening. He's a quite old grandpa, I would say, and he's having his like front yard display for his house or anything. He has lots of different flowers, and it warms my heart. It's just like he cares about the garden. He was cutting those roses with such a patience. He was like, you can tell, when the person is actually caring about it because it's such a different variety. It's a numerous of objects in his, like, and everything has its own place. It's looked after. Yeah, I mean, big garden centers is such a cool thing. It's such a British thing. You go there, they have usually cafe or anything that like has like a drink, and you have a kind of shop in a shop. You have sometimes decorative stuff for the house or the um, farm products shop. Like for example, the last one where I've been, there was selling some farm fruits, like fresh fruits, vegetables, everything like this at a good each price. And another like kiosk kind of style, it was farm produced cheese. And it's just such a different, like you go, you see big families coming to the garden centers in the UK, and it just like I don't know, it's so warm. Like people will go there at the weekend or just to walk to. They will get some flowers. They will get something to upgrade the garden, and they will go chill, drink some tea. Yeah, it's just warming my heart and brings so much joy into my, I don't know, world, my thoughts, my day. Um, and what else about England that I was like, wow, that is so different? Hmm. Let's think about it. I thought actually that the weather in here will be much more cloudier and more colder. Turned out it's not. Especially like this summer, my first full summer, long summer in here. I've been in here for a month in June, but it wasn't as warm. And I always thought that, it's like England doesn't really have like more than 23, 24 degrees. Apparently it is. It's in here. And it feels so different from my home country because it feels, I don't know, humidity, how big is this island is and like how windy it is. It can depend, and the weather feels much more, I don't know, hotter. Like it's actually like stronger. You feel this heat much more than what I would feel in my hometown, for example. At my hometown, if it will be 26 or 24, it will be nice. It will be not too hot. It will be just like just just summer weather. That's how I always saw it. And in England, it's already quite warm. And this summer, it's been for like half of the summer right now. We are in July currently, and that's been just so hot. We had 2.5 weeks when they've been like 30 degrees. Oh my god, I'm telling you what, that felt like Africa. That felt like Dubai, like Africa, like everything super hot. The grass gone yellow, which is upsetting me so much. Like even if you're caring about it, it will be yellow. It's just like lots of plants suffered from it, lots of birds obviously and other like animals that more wild, I am sure. And probably some farm crops also suffered from it this year. But coming back to my thought about that England is not having anything really that hot and warm, that's not true. Girls, that's not true at all. It's like, I'm surprised, quite surprised by the weather, and I think I started to enjoy actually the calmness and sometimes this like cloudy-ish. I love seeing foggy days when it's super foggy. It looks so beautiful in England when it's foggy. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. I'm a big fan of like this um feel from the movies, like fourth part, I think, or third part, when it's been like very foggy and getting more darker in there. But it's for me like really it is truly such a beautiful, gorgeous, stunning old English English country. It's like old England, so looking good. I like nature in here. Nature is just wow. It's astonishing the variety of different berries growing even on just like random footpaths. Varieties of flowers. I love it. Just my eyes. And the variety of different scenes what you have in the UK. Like you have coast, you have more forest side, you have more this big mountains and forks and ocean view side. Oh my god, hey, it looks so good. It's just it's just gorgeous. It's just stunning, stunning, stunning England. And I think I would finish in here Well, what I want to say today is, again, no matter where you're going, you're bringing yourself, but just try to be open sometimes for the new things and for the new country to blend in with you and give it a go. You will feel it. You might fall in love with it. Thank you so much for watching me today and spending a bit of morning routine of Monday with me today. I hope you found it very interesting for you if you've never been to England, or you've been to England and you want to just check out what's new in here and what people actually think about it. Thank you so much for watching it and for listening my podcast. Take care and see you next time. Bye.